replies he knows exactly what she's doing. Then she says that 10 years ago, when he was just 8, she stood by his side. From that moment on, her existence has been for his sake. In return, his existence is now for hers. And now she has to fix him, put him back on the right path. Moon says he has no idea what she's talking about, asks her to let him go. But she just hushes him. Don't say anything. I'll take care of everything. Tonight, head to toe, inside and out. His body, his soul. Every scent, every strand of hair, every drop of blood. All of it would belong to her. Well, at least he doesn't have to worry about impressing his dad anymore. She's definitely taking care of that. Honestly, I was expecting some kind of twist. Someone barging in, stopping the scene. But nope. Our boy wakes up the next morning, eyes all tired, looking absolutely drained. It happens so many times. Head lose consciousness, wake up in the middle of it, then pass out again and wake up once more. He just couldn't believe it. The same person who originally turned Moon into a worthless mess, and the same one who chained him up like this, was that damn Anne. He says she took him out in a single hit, and even though he was mentally prepared, it still hurt like hell. He begged her to stop with this madness, to let him out of those cuffs and give him a chance to escape. But she said not a chance. Compared to all the years she spent waiting, this pain was nothing. Dear God, all right, author, watch yourself. You're really skating the edge here. I don't even know how to comment on this madness. Still, our guy's pretending he's in agony, but in truth, he admits the sensation was amazing. Even so, he knows she's going to kill him if this keeps up. He needs to escape, fast. But man, he's locked in with steel cuffs bolted straight into the wall. And that Limitic, she just asks what he thinks he's doing. He says his wrists were hurting and he just wanted to stretch them a little. She says it's too late for that now. There's nothing she can do. She says she's going to miss him like crazy, but unfortunately, she has things to take care of around the mansion. Otherwise, people might start to suspect something. And on top of that, she's wondering if maybe it'd be better to just kill everyone in the house, since he belongs to her now. That snaps him right out of it. He panics and begs her not to do anything like that. Before she finishes getting dressed, she asks if there's any maid in this place he might be into. Hopefully, not Noelle. He tells her she's lost her mind. There's nothing going on with anyone else. She laughs, tells him to calm down. She's just teasing. As long as he behaves, she promises not to hurt anyone in the house unless she absolutely has to. He begs her to let him go. There's no way she seriously plans to keep him locked in here forever. Suddenly, the magical cuffs click open with a snap of her fingers. She just tells him not to try anything stupid. The core of this room is a sealed space, reinforced with steel from some tower no one's ever heard of. Translation? It's basically impossible to get out. He asks if no one will find it suspicious, but she says not to worry. She told everyone that after hearing his father's speech about becoming strong, Mu decided to return to the academy. So no one's going to question his disappearance for a while. And she assures him he doesn't need to worry about a thing. She'll bring him 3 meals a day like she always has. Obviously, you should trust her. She's been doing this for years. And then, wham, she lands a clean hit. The guy's writhing in pain. Honestly, this maid is way past the line now. It's hard to tell if someone out there would willingly agree to this level of insanity. She waves goodbye, he yells for her, but the door slams shut. He never could have guessed that out of everyone mentioned in the prophecy, it would be her. And every time he talks trash about the situation, the next thing he says is always how good it felt. That much, he can't deny. The problem is, he knows that if this keeps up, he's not going to survive. Even though she mentions some kind of magical sealant, he decides to try the door. He grabs the handle and pulls with all his strength, but immediately drops to the floor in agony. The entire room is made from pure steel, magically enhanced. There's no way out. Finally, the book shows up without slapping him in the face this time. Moon tells it straight. He's got no chance. This woman has as much power and potential as Payman herself. Even if he started training now, there's no way he'd get strong enough before dying. But the book just stays open. And he figures, all right, he's got nothing better to do. May as well train instead of moping around. But then wait a second. As he opens the book, he realizes the one he read last night had the equation to get through this exact situation. Next chapter, he's already knocked out 199 200 push-ups. At least his body's still holding up after the brutal night. First it was Payman, now it's Anne. What the hell is happening to this guy? He's not mad about the pain. What really gets to him is that he can't do anything. He's always the one being overpowered. But next time, he swears he's going to be the one who takes her down. That thought barely finishes forming before she shows up, smiling and saying the day's work is over. So Moon, talk is easy, now let's see you act. And here she is, already saying she feels like a wife coming home after a long day. So cute, she says, like this is all perfectly normal. She's brought him dinner and even prepped a bath at the perfect temperature. Good grief, how am I even supposed to describe this? She asks if he wants to eat, take a bath, or, well, you know. And this lying little punk, after all that talk, he's already headed straight for the bath, sinking in like he's trying to relax. But judging by the look on his face, relaxing is the last thing he's doing. He mutters that he's not a child and doesn't need help with this sort of thing. Someone, please, set this poor boy free before I get banned for reading this. She says that now that his body belongs to her, she has to take care of it. She even tests his hearing while he's mentally screaming that he absolutely cannot lose to this Eander. Dinner time rolls around and he thanks her, says the food tastes amazing, grabs the plate, and starts eating. He asks what kind of meat it is, and she casually replies it's from some rare three-horned giant bull. She made it especially for him since it's known to enhance physical strength. He tells her never to serve him that again, but she just smirks and says he's already eaten it dozens of times. She's been feeding it to him in secret. He stands up done. He says he's tired of this. He's being kept locked away, not even allowed to see sunlight, and now she's feeding him all this weird stuff. If she doesn't let him out now, down he goes again, knocked out cold. Poor guy. What can you even do? Once again, the food was cursed. She even whispers for him to enjoy it because the night's going to be long. When he opens his eyes again, it's clear the guy's been wrecked. She apologizes for the night before, saying she got scared he wouldn't survive, so she took it easy on him this time. Yeah, this monster of a guy didn't stand a chance. He said he was going to dominate or whatever. He got crushed again. She tries to talk to him, but he completely ignores her. So she says that since he's been a good boy for 2 days straight, she'll grant him one request. He immediately asks for freedom. She says that's impossible. He asks for new clothes. She says that's also impossible. He looks at her like, what kind of wish is this if I can't ask for anything? She explains that the highest level wish he can make right now is something like choosing when he wants to eat tomorrow. And listen, on the site I'm reading this on, there are people in the comments saying the protagonist is suffering too much, and they're willing to trade places with him just to take some of the heat off the poor guy. So he sighs and admits, yeah, choosing what to eat is better than nothing. He thinks back to this time of year. He used to enjoy a specific seasonal wine and some special fish. She comments that the fish he's talking about comes from Lake Bipor, which is way far off. He plays it up, saying that he used to be a free spirit. Now he can't even decide what to eat, stuck in confinement like this. If he can't even get a little fish from Lake Bipor, then what's the point of life? She calls his name, but then says fine, she'll get it for him. Immediately, he grabs her arm and thanks her, all grateful. And this guy's throwing in hearts now. He says he's suffering, but is he really? He wishes her a great day at work and tells her he'll be waiting at home for her. She short-circuits on the spot, completely flustered, and then suddenly runs in, kisses him, and he's just standing there stunned. I don't even know at this point. Is he playing 4D chess, trying to mess with the villain's head? As she's leaving, she mentions that the journey to Lake Bipor will take until tomorrow afternoon, so he better get some rest. And once she's outside, she's visibly holding herself back, muttering that she almost couldn't control herself. The young master really is the cutest thing in the world, and she can't wait to bring him that fish just to keep spoiling him more. While he's thinking that maybe, just maybe, he'll finally get a moment of peace and a full night's rest, he figures that means it's time to pull out his favorite treasure, the book. Gotta grind a little more in those simulated training spaces. It looks like he's asking to enter a simulation called the Space of 1,000 Locks, based on one of the books he read to level up his ability to break magical seals. Meanwhile, somewhere under the rain and brewing storm, someone's warning a certain girl that Lake Bipor is extremely dangerous right now. She should back off. As the person reaches to grab her hand, she activates a power and stabs him in the hand, saying no one but the young master is allowed to touch her. If he tries to stop her again, she'll feed him to the fish. The old man just grumbles that if the crazy woman wants to die, he won't stop her. But she should know. Lake Bipor's master is awake. The guild's been watching and they confirmed. It's a monarch-class creature. Anne lifts her hands and says, that explains this weird weather. The boatman mutters that she better leave him 300 coins. He's got to deal with his injured hand now. But even more than that, she shouldn't mess with the Adventurers Guild. They won't let her walk away unscathed. She's just got a bucket full of coins sitting in the ice. He asks her again, does she really want to go? She needs to understand how dangerous this is. She's not grasping what it means to make enemies out of the main Adventurers Guild. But she flatly says she doesn't care. They mean nothing to her. She's doing this for love. Then we cut to a group of adventurers gathered near the lake. One girl holding a staff is saying she can't let anything happen to Rod. After this mission, she's finally going to confess. Someone snaps at her, tells Erica to focus and stop daydreaming. She's the healer. She needs to cast now, or they won't hold out much longer. She starts channeling magic, and another adventurer yells that the creature is coming. After tanking so many special attacks, the thing is finally about to reveal itself. That's when a giant shark erupts from the lake. Obviously, it's the master of the lake. It charges up a massive water bomb. Someone screams Rod's name, and he casts a blessing of the earth to throw up a barrier. He yells for the mage to launch a spell, and she starts conjuring through her staff. Turns out she's a healer and a mage. Talk about multitasking. But just before her spell lands, another explosive blast goes off. She tells Rod to charge in. He takes the opportunity, rushes the creature, and lands a direct slash to the head. The entire lake detonates with the hit. He's exhausted, but still manages to turn around and throw a thumbs up, saying, it's done. Wow, this guy's got a powerhouse mage and a dedicated healer. That's one perfectly balanced party. The mage is standing there fixing her hair, all smiles and gratitude, while poor Erica, the healer, is just sitting there, feeling like she didn't contribute anything. Rod and the other girl, Tia, are complimenting each other, saying it's great to be adventuring side by side. Meanwhile, Erica's seeking inside. She made a promise when they were kids that she and Rod would always be a duo. She's been working hard for years, but it feels like he never sees her anymore. She was the first one by his side, and now she's just background support while he's clearly falling for someone else. Tai is still healing him when Rod suddenly calls out to Erica, telling her to snap out of it and help dissect the lake monster. But then, something feels off. They hear a strange sound. The surface of the water grows murky again, and then, boom, water blasts upward into the sky. Everyone ducks immediately. Another lake beast is rising. This one's different. This one's the real deal. Tia quickly starts casting a third-tier spell, this one huge, but it doesn't do a thing. The magic slams into the creature's neck, and nothing. The beast counters with a thunderstorm attack from its horn, lightning tears through the sky. Erica grabs Rod and pulls him out of the way, yelling for him to be careful. But he tells her to move. This monster is way beyond what they're capable of dealing with. She asks what he's going to do, and he says, "I'm going to protect Tia. I brought her into this party, it's my responsibility." Even if it meant dying, he was ready to die by her side. Yet, Erica definitely would have preferred not to hear that. Rod charges forward while, from a distance, someone's silently watching the whole mess unfold. Of course, it's Anne, curious to witness the power of a monarch-level beast firsthand. If dragons had this kind of strength, she figured she'd finally be able to get that specific part to feed the young master. But why is she always trying to feed him monster meat anyway? Once again, the boss readies another lightning strike. Rod knows it. This is the end for them. But just then, Anne casts a binding spell. A bolt of lightning crashes from the sky and slams into the creature. When Rod looks again, the beast is falling back into the lake. Even the attack it was about to unleash had been completely cancelled. Someone checks on Erica, asking if she's alright. It's Anne. She tells Erica to stay out of it. She'll be the one handling this monster. And with that, she activates another restriction and Erica realizes this woman is manipulating liquid metal. The creature starts getting pierced from every direction. And Anne, calm as ever, is forging a sword out of midair as she floats toward the beast like she's walking on air, saying the monster would pay for scaring away the fish she came all this way to catch for the young master. The price for messing with her plans was death, one clean slash. The creature is sliced clean in half and sinks back into the depths. Rod watches from the side, speechless. He can't believe a monarch-class beast was just taken out like that. Yeah, our sweet protagonist got a lot of work ahead if he ever wants to break free from that. Erica runs over, checking on Rod. He says he's fine, but Taya's not doing great. He's got a few healing potions, but they won't be enough. That's when he asks Erica to go talk to that woman. He wants her to find out if she's an adventurer, and if she'd be interested in joining their party. Because anyone who can kill a monarch beast like that, well, that'd be a hell of an addition. Anne's busy down at the edge of the lake, gathering up the leftover fish. The only problem? She forgot to ask the young master which ones he actually likes. Just then, Erica walks up and tells her that the two she's holding aren't edible. One smells awful when cooked, and the other's highly toxic. She should go for the other two near the front. They're the famous edible ones from Lake Baypor. Anne, curious, asks how she knows that. Erica explains she used to live nearby. A lot of nobles like those fish, so she'd catch and sell them. Within 15 minutes of watching Anne prep, she already knew how to handle it and make it perfect. That's when Erica asks, "Did you come all this way to get this fish for someone you love?" Anne just answers calmly, "Yes. The person she loves wanted fish, so she came." Erica replies, "To have someone you love that much and to have them receive that love from you. They must be really lucky." Anne pauses, reflecting on how her love is received, which right now involves the guy unconscious in a dark room, and says, "Yes, he's very lucky. I'm sure we understand the depth of my love." She turns to leave, but Erica calls out to her, asking her to wait. She says it's about love. She has a problem, and she wants the opinion of a mature woman like her. Anne sets the fish down and replies that love is the kind of problem where the solution isn't always clear. But since Erica helped her figure out the fish situation, she'll try to return the favor with some advice. Erica starts with the classic line, "So, my friend, she's like someone for a really long time." But she doesn't know if this person feels the same. Her friend's kinda shy, a bit naive, and now there's another woman in the picture. And ever since, he's been treating that new girl better. So now she's thinking of giving up. Anne listens carefully, then asks how much this friend loves that guy. Erica immediately replies, "It's not me, it's my friend." But Anne cuts the act. "Enough with that. Just say it." Erica finally admits it. Yes, it's her. She's loved him since they were kids, for over 10 years. Anne looks her dead in the eye and asks, "Would you give your life for him?" And Erica says, "Not just my life. I'd do anything for him, even if the whole world stood against me." Oh boy, here we go. Another one completely off the rails. Anne just nods and says, "Well, sounds like you already have your answer then." If her love really runs that deep, there's nothing left to ask. She needs to follow the true voice in her heart and give everything she has to the one she loves. And more importantly, she should really think hard before making any choice she might regret later on. As Anne walks away, Erica's left there, deep in thought, replaying that whole follow your heart speech. But then suddenly, a strange flame ignites, not around her, but inside her. A voice whispers, asking if she's really going to give up everything. Is she really going to surrender? The voice tells her to let go of morality, of laws, of even her own life. to sacrifice it all for him and not let anyone else take him away. Man, this world's a ticking time bomb. I remember the stuff in the Zhang Hao story where the girls were unhinged, but this is a whole other tier of crazy. Now she's trembling, muttering that she's going to lose it if someone else ends up with Rod. The voice replies, "Finally, you understand. You need to embrace your deepest desires and claim him. But there's a catch. Rod's strong. So if she wants to make sure he truly belongs to her, she'll have to break his arms, slap a collar on him, and reduce him to nothing more than a pet. Yup. The demons in this world, there's something else." Meanwhile, Rod's sitting by Tia, practically saying a prayer over her. He turns to Erica and asks if she's okay and what happened with that other woman. She says she's fine. The lady didn't do anything. She just took a little while because she ran out of mana. The only issue is that she's a maid from a noble family, so she won't be able to join their party. Rod says that's fine. What can you do? He just wanted to thank her in person. Tia agrees. If it weren't for that woman, they'd all be dead. But then Tia adds that she noticed something strange, a weird mark on Erica's chest. Erica quickly covers it up and brushes it off, saying it's nothing, probably just from the impact earlier or some kind of magical backlash. She'll get it checked out later. Rod picks Tia up in his arms and says she's right. They need to find somewhere to rest. The two of them are all soft and flirty while Erica just watches from a distance, eyes dark, something definitely not right. Next morning, our poor boy wakes up looking like a wreck, probably trained all night because of course she's already back, saying she finally returned. I'm convinced now. He's pulling the classic 3D chess move. He puts on the act saying he missed her so much and that he was sure if he didn't see her again, he was going to die. She strokes his face sweetly, saying it looks like he's finally ready to give her his body and soul. She apologizes. It's just that Lake Bipor was really far away and it took longer than expected to bring back the freshest fish. But here it is, just what he asked for. And wow, she really went all out, 5 clean cuts on the fish, tossed in 3 herbs straight into the oven. The presentation is ridiculous. He's hyped, saying it smells amazing and he's already reaching out to try it. She makes the airplane sound, feeding it to him, and he thanks her, tells her she should try it too. But she shakes her head and says not this time. She made this one especially for him. She tells him to be careful though, fish have lots of bones. He scoffs, says he's not a kid, but the moment he takes a bite, something gets stuck in his throat. Immediately, she leans in and says she'll take care of it. He panics, how? And she, completely deadpan, says she'll press her lips to his, use her lung capacity to pull it out, and that'll clear his airway. He tells her she's absolutely insane. That doesn't even make sense. But life is cruel and our boy suffers a tragic fate. Next chapter? Yeah, we jump straight into chaos. She cheerfully says the problem's solved. She pulled the bone out. He mutters a tired thank you and just starts eating again, if only to get her to stop talking. A little while later, he finishes his plate and admits it really was excellent fish. I'll give you 25 cents if you can guess what she wants to do next. But he shuts it down, tells her not now, he needs a break. That's when she pulls out the psychological cards and asks, "So, are you getting tired of me already?" But our boy is slick. He says that, according to the experts, it's not good to exercise right after eating. It could be bad for the body. And if a child were conceived in that kind of state, it might not be born healthy, and the pregnancy could end up being complicated. Anne, of course, interprets all of this as him being deeply concerned about her, and she gets emotional. She says, "All right then, you make a good point. I'll come back tonight to continue our little work." Before leaving though, she casually mentions that she passed through the famous city of Savit, known for its custom design outfits. He asks what that has to do with anything, and she says she bought a, well, combat outfit, something fierce and full of armor. Just by the look on his face, you already know what he's thinking. He immediately says he's not into that stuff. He's a man of integrity. But she just smiles and says, "I've been around for a long time. I've seen all the magazines you have. The reason she always wears those black stockings, it was for him." And the poor guy is stunned. He always thought that was just her personal fashion choice. But he has to admit, yeah, she nailed it. He did like them. She laughs, calls him adorable, then waves goodbye and tells him to take a nap. Just like that, she's gone and he's still stuck in that room. Man, I'm seriously hoping our protagonist escapes soon. Sure, the situation doesn't look that bad from the outside, but come on. You're just gonna stay locked up in a room forever? Wait, scratch that. Spoke too soon. He's already up and activating his skill to try and unlock the door. And this kid, genius. Turns out he asked for that fish bone on purpose. He's using it like a makeshift lockpick. But the moment he starts working on it, he triggers a trap. 12 cuts across the mechanism. He falls back instantly, cursing under his breath, saying she's gotta be kidding. There's no way something this insane could be opened manually. Based on the theory from one of his books, he has to lift each of the lock pins to the exact height without breaking the fish bone to trigger the release. The catch? He only managed to hide 4 fish bones from her. And this thing requires 12 perfect attempts. It's gonna be hell. Worse still, if the bone breaks inside the lock and she finds a piece left behind, she'll know immediately. He gives it another shot and yep, snap. That's not even the first one he's broken. He's already gone through 3. It's been an hour and a half. She'll be back with his food any minute now. He calls out to the book, trying to squeeze in some last-minute study. At this point, it's too complex to brute force through it. At least he's mapped out the exact pin height for the first 10. It's just those last two. He's got nothing to lose now. It's all or nothing. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the two maids are hanging out. Erica tries a piece of the fish Anne prepared and admits it really is delicious. The creatures from Lake Bepor are no joke. Anne thanks her for the help, saying that thanks to Erica, she finished cooking a whole hour earlier than usual. Erica, though, wants to know why she's suddenly learning new recipes. After all, the young master went off to the academy, the madam is pregnant and staying at the other estate to focus on her pregnancy. Yet every time, Anne makes an extra portion of food. It's weird. Anne's hand subtly moves toward her knife, mana starting to gather. But Erica quickly blurts out, "Oh, I get it. You're hiding a secret pet here, right? Probably a cute little cat." She explains that the old heads of the house never allowed pets because of the fur and mess, but now that they're not around, it makes sense she'd try to sneak one in. Anne breathes out and says, "You caught me. Keep it a secret." Okay. Erica says it's no problem, but she really wants to see the little guy someday. Anne smiles and says maybe one day, but not right now. He's still really shy and easily scared. As she walks away, Anne thinks to herself how glad she is that she didn't have to resort to the worst-case scenario, killing Erica and dealing with the aftermath. That conversation, however, makes her realize something else. Keeping the young master locked away in that room might start to wear on him. He could get bored or worse, fed up. Besides, she still doesn't feel anything moving in her stomach, which means the pregnancy hasn't started yet. At the very least, there will be another 10 months before that even becomes a thing. Maybe she should actually eat a pet to help the young master relax a little. A cat wouldn't be a bad choice. Or better yet, she'll just ask him directly what he wants. But then, her whole expression changes. The tray slits from her hands, food crashes to the floor. When she gets to the room, the door is wide open. Our boy, he's out. He finally escaped. Let's go. He's hiding in some rundown wing of the mansion, furniture trashed, everything dark and dusty. He stumbles and falls awkwardly, hitting the ground hard. Everything's filthy, the lighting's terrible, but whatever. Thanks to the memories of his body, he knows exactly where he is. And if there's one magic trick this useless guy does know, it's that